Hello, my friends. This is Austrian Stacker. I hope you're having a great weekend. Let's talk about my plans for 2023. It's the time of the year where I usually start thinking about my budget for the next year and where I start making plans. I think this is one of the things that's very important for every stacker. So what I will tell you today is how I do my planning, budgeting process for the next year and how I'm working on my strategy. And I think it's very important everybody has a strategy and a budget. And as said, I will tell you now how I'm doing this. So this is actually an overview of my budgeting process. So I would really like to discuss it with you. Let me know in the comments below what you think about it, how your budgeting process looks like. Actually, this is what works for me very well. Actually, I start with the income. So all the money that will come to my bank account next year. And actually, these are three different things. First of all, that's the money coming from my job, from my daily business. And what you should also consider is, and a lot of people always plan with bonus payments, even if it's not sure that they will receive these bonus payments. So I do not consider bonus payments in my budgeting process. I try to cover all costs I have and all the money or the budget I want for investment and so on from my fixed income, because this is what I can plan with, and all bonus payments I receive and so on is something I do not consider in my budgeting. If I get it, fine. Then I usually use 100% of it for saving and or investing into the house or whatever, but I do not plan with it. So it's something on top, and sometimes we even use it for going on a nice vacation or something, but I do not consider it in my budgeting process. The next thing you should consider, this is why I couldn't do the budgeting process right now. The unions are still in negotiation with the companies here in Austria, so it's still not sure how much of the actual inflation will be covered by salary increases. So there are still negotiations going on. Also, I have to renegotiate my package every year with my company, so this is also still ongoing. Our HR department already told me what's their opinion. I told them what's my opinion, and let's see, now they're working on a offer for the next year for my package. So let's see what the result will be. But this is what I consider in the first step of my budget. So everything I get from my daily business, from my job. The second thing is interests. I have shares, I have a fund, I have a savings account and so on, and all of them, I mean, at the moment, to be honest, it's not a lot, but you receive interest payments, and this is also something I always consider, but I consider it in a very conservative way. So, for example, my savings account, it doesn't make any sense to calculate with, I don't know, 8, 9, 10% interest, and then you just get maybe 1% or 1.5%. So try to be conservative, and in the end, if you have more, then it's better. But it's always it's not good if you calculate too optimistic, and then you don't have the budget you planned with. The next point is sales. So do I plan to sell some of my gold or silver? Do you plan to sell a piece of land? Do you plan to sell a car, whatever? Yeah. Do you plan to make a backyard sales or a garage sales, whatever, flea market? So if there is any additional income, I will, for example, sell some stuff because we will move to our house soon. to our new house. So I will sell some stuff from the old one, and so we can also calculate with some income from sales. And then you have to deduct the taxes. So a lot of people, I saw some budget plans where I had to ask, man, you don't pay any taxes. So I always calculate first the taxes. I mean, it's just a forecast, yeah. So the taxes I assume that I have to pay, and then you come to your net income. What's important here is then you have to deduct all the costs you have. Yeah? So I have an Excel sheet that I'm using where all the fixed costs like electricity, like rent for a garage parking place, and whatever, yeah, insurances and all the things I need to pay. I have an Excel sheet where I can administrate this. And what you should always consider when you calculate or forecast the costs of living is inflation. This is really crazy, and this is why I do not buy as much gold as I would like or could buy at the moment, because I want to be prepared just in case if the inflation insanity continues. So I want to be prepared. This is why I'm stacking more cash at the moment instead of gold and silver. Yeah, and then you should consider what maintenance costs will you have the next year. Yeah, for your air condition. I don't know if you have a pool, if whatever. Yeah, so that it might be you need to renew your driveway or whatever. Yeah, so consider this. And a lot of people are saving here, which is not smart, because this keeps the value of your house, for example, high. So your property has a higher value if it's well maintained. So in the end, you're losing money if you decide not to do maintenance, but put the money in gold and silver. So really rethink your decision if this was your decision. I'm not a fan of this. So I think maintenance is one of the most important things to keep the value of your property high. Then car, yeah, if you need service, repairs, whatever. And what I always consider is a budget for gifts. There might be people in your, I don't know, your friends, family, whatever, you want to buy gifts, for example, for birthdays, anniversaries, whatever, or for special occasions. I always consider this in my annual planning so that I have enough money. For example, my wife and I will have our 20th anniversary soon. So I considered this because I want to buy her a very nice gift for that. Yeah, just to say thank you that she still didn't kick me out. So you should also consider this. And yeah, there might be other costs as well, yeah. But consider all the costs you have, and then what is left is actually the budget you can work with. And I work with my budget in 3 steps. The first of all is debts. And as long as I have what I call bad debts, 100% of my budget goes into paying off debts. For example, credit card debts. Please don't think about this too as long as you have really expensive debts. Pay off these debts first. If you have credit card debts, pay them off first, because it doesn't make any sense to buy gold and, for example, you make 5, 8, 10% with your gold, but you make 15% with bad debts. And always be up to date about your debt to income ratio. So there should be a certain limit. I like actually the credit rating system with AAA, AB, whatever, A minus. Actually, I mean, it's not really applied because we all know, for example, the US, they need new debts to pay off the interests of old debts, which is by definition bankruptcy. So yeah, the system is a good one, but actually the way how it is applied is a catastrophe. But you should always have in mind, if you reach a point where you cannot pay off the interest of your debts anymore, if you actually where you're not reducing your debts anymore, but just paying the interest of your debts, this is a situation you should try to avoid if possible in any way. So always have an eye on your debt to income ratio. And this should, it's up to your personal situation, yeah, and for example how your saving accounts look like, and if you have property, whatever. So I cannot give you a number what's reasonable. So it's really depending on the person. If you have zero savings, zero investments, and you don't own a house or a piece of land or something, then this should be much lower than somebody who makes debts but has a lot of things he could use to pay off the debts. Yeah? So it's really depending on a personal situation. But be aware about this and set a personal limit and have an eye on this. So this is my personal strategy. I always pay off debts first. Second one is savings. I think it's getting more and more important also to have enough savings. The first reason why I always save money is I saw a lot of people losing money. They went all in on gold, and the problem they had then is that they actually had no money, no cash left, and they had no savings account. Actually, they went all in on gold, and then they had to get rid of the gold in an emergency sales, and then they lost a lot of money. This is why I think it is very important to stack cash as well. Also, if you have a house, for example, if you own a house, then frequently you have to renew something or repair something. You have to invest in maintenance and so on. And this is why you should have cash as well. So this is why first, pay off your debts. Second, stack cash. And then number 3 is investing. And yes, I still call stacking investing, because for me it is investing. So what is my strategy for 2023? As said, first cash, and I also stack foreign currencies. So I'm, for example, stacking Swiss francs, because I think a variety in your stack, in your gold precious metal stacks is good, is important. And I also think that a variety in the cash you're stacking is important. So I don't go all in on euro, and to be honest, I also don't stack US dollars because I don't trust the US dollar. But yeah, usually I stack. In the past I also stacked British pounds, but I sold more or less all of it, and now I'm into Swiss francs. Then what I will buy next year is there are some series I'm stacking, like for example I'm collecting like the Lunar Free series. So I will also continue collecting this kind of series, Lunar Free, the Black Flag series, or the Queen's Beast series. But this is more or less collecting. So what I'm really stacking is actually at the moment the Britannia bars and these 250 gram St. Helena bars. So these are my preferred silver bars. My strategy changed the last years, so I moved from coins, 1 ounce silver bullion, to silver bars. What I also will continue collecting is some of the gold coin series I'm collecting, like the Magic of Gold series by Austrian Mint, or the Royal Tudor Beast coin series. So we'll also continue collecting these coin series. And the main part of the money I'm investing will again go in gold. Also here my strategy changed a bit. In the past I bought mainly gold Philharmonics because they are very liquid here and they are cheap. But for a certain time now, the Britannia was also very cheap here in Austria, and to be honest, I prefer the Britannia because of the security feature. And if I can get a coin for almost the same amount with a very good security feature, you can see it here, the trident and the lock, then of course I take the coin with security feature. And the Britannia is well known here as well, so it's as liquid as the Philharmonic. So I will continue buying Britannias. So let's see where the journey will end at the end of next year. So this is actually my budgeting and stacking strategy for the next year. I'll put a picture of this at the end of the video. So I would really like to hear what do you think about, what is your personal stacking strategy or finance strategy for 2023. So please, I'm happy to hear other opinions. Thank you in advance for your comments and let me know what you think about it. Thank you very much. See you next time. Servus.